Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the mountains. This is Mountain Man Monday. I'm your host, Mr. Mountain Man, and this is live stream episode number 89. Today is September the 27th, 2021. I want to welcome all of you that join me live here on this Monday evening, anyone who might be watching later on the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube channel. This live stream and all are always available and archived under the live stream playlist. I hope, as always, everybody's had a great start to their week. A nice Monday, had a nice weekend. Maybe temperatures are tapering off a little bit around your neck of the woods. Certainly here in the mountains, we are starting to experience some of those 40-degree evenings here and there, although it's going to warm back up a little bit more. And it's starting to feel and smell like fall outside right now, which you can't complain. I always enjoy the lush green mountains here in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Western North Carolina when they look so beautiful during the summer and the spring. But there's always something nice to enjoy when fall and winter roll around as well. So yes, we are changing of the seasons as of last week, and it's going to be getting pretty nice here in the mountains. And as I've talked about in past live streams, the formula to figure out how vibrant those leaf colors will be for the leaf peepers. Again, leaf peepers are commonly known as folks who come into town or especially tourists that want to see the changing colors in the beautiful mountains. Has to do with a combination of cooler evenings and stressing of the leaf and the pigment within the leaf. And so cooler evenings, sometimes a lack of rain and a tapering of the warm weather are kind of the formula for that. This year, just me paying attention, it's not been perfect for that. We are starting to get the cool evenings, but there was plenty of warm weather and moisture to keep the leaves green a little bit longer. So we'll see how it goes. We're still a good month away, 3 weeks to a month away, although you're starting to see some of the tops of trees and stuff, a few leaves here and there, and I posted a picture on Instagram as well. We got some folks joining us here this evening. Adriana LaSure says, howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy Mr. Mountain Man Monday. Glad to have you here. Hope you're having a nice start to your week. Nice Monday. Let us know, have you been? I've been waiting by my computer with bated breath for the Mr. Mountain Man Monday live stream to start. Woohoo! The time is here. It is here. I'm glad you enjoy. I'm happy to be here. Give the smile with the old Mr. Mountain Man hammer here. Foxy putting the bicep emojis. Lots of fun. Nice to have you here. I hope you're doing well. AZ Rock, great to see you here. I was watching one of my other YouTube videos on the Eclectic Candyman, and Foxy was as well, and AZ and a couple other people. That is awesome. Thank you. Hope Faith is here. Hey, what's up? How are you doing today, Mr. Mountain Man? I can't complain. I'm doing all right. It's not a bad Monday. That's right, Mr. Carlos. It is Monday. Greetings to you. Hope you're having a nice start to your week. We've got Lily here. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man, happy Monday. Can't stay long, but it's great being here for a little while. Absolutely. I hope you enjoy the content. Always want you to be entertained, and always welcome for yourself and others in the community to provide feedback on anything within the live stream, because I don't want there ever to be any monotony or boredom of the live stream. So if anybody has a part they like, don't like, want to join for, don't, let me know. I will make sure to always incorporate that feedback, and it's great to have everyone here this evening. Let's see. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Video is not clear on my end. How is everyone else's? Little blurry. Yeah, a bit fuzzy. Sometimes coming out of the gate on this fantastic mountain internet, it just takes it a while, and I'm sure that doesn't help with folks wanting to join. They look at the live stream and it's a little bit blurry, but like you said, hopefully it clears up here well and isn't too much of a distraction. We had great temperatures today with some rain. Hurricane Sam may be headed our way later. That's the weird thing about up your way, Newfoundland. Like, the way the hurricanes go up the Atlantic coast and then kind of peel off. That is that area. I mean, you do probably get some of that the after effects of tropical storms and hurricanes. Don't normally associate those storms that far north, at least for us, but In reality, I know watching them after the remnants definitely go up that way. So I hope you don't get too much. And you guys are usually accustomed to cold temps as well. And I know you had mentioned it was already getting cooler, so I wonder how that combination is. But usually those storms bring warm moisture from, you know, the Gulf and the Caribbean. Hey, Ted and Deborah Harrison, glad to have you here on this Monday. Good to see you as always with the little cargo thing in tow on the Miata there. I hope things are going well for you guys. Having a great start to your week. Nice Monday. Let us know. Yes, hunker down. Storms are no fun. I hope that it really ends up being nothing. A lot of times these storms are difficult to predict where they would go, and so it can be tough. Like I've got a family on my wife's side in Puerto Rico, and you know every year you're kind of holding your breath because you know there's always some storms that can impact that area. Or the people who live in Florida when we used to live in Florida, and I know Mike shows up sometimes here, hike with Mike and some others that Faye that live in Florida. You know that Florida is always on the kind of that August to almost November timeframe for tropical storms and stuff. How's everything going? It's going pretty well. Like it's been a pretty good week. We had, my wife's parents were in town, and we enjoyed that visit and got to spend some time with the family. I kind of took a hiatus during the week last week to not really do anything around the house. Just was normal routine of working out and stuff like that. So this weekend, had a cookout with them early before they left, before their plane took off on Saturday morning. That's why I had the pictures of the grill out kind of early on Saturday. And then it was, had to mow the grass, and I had to, we have this bathroom I had mentioned that had some plumbing issues, and we had to get a minor remodel on it. But I didn't pay the contractor to paint. So I'm painting and finishing up with new fixtures, a new light fixture and new electrical fixtures and some other stuff in there. So kind of just doing stuff around the house this week. And it's getting colder here. It was colder here in Burnsville last. Oh, sorry. You also asked, what's the story behind the Twig? Well, the Twigs are doing great as always. They're over here on the side shedding only when I touch them. You've got more than 1 year and a few, maybe a month old right here. You guys aren't going to believe me. They still, I mean, if you really get in there, they still have a faint pine smell to them. I mean, that's pretty awesome. I would love to plant those things. I just think the elevation's a little too low here. That's, you start to see these guys up around 6,000 feet. Let me know too. Keep me posted. Nothing I can do about it, but I'm just curious if the video does clear up. I think another thing is it takes a little while to buffer. And it's weird each week. I try to start it up and see. There's this little meter that I can see on my end up in the top left-hand corner with 3 bars, and it's got 1, typically meaning that I know on my end it's not very good quality, but let me know. Mr. Carlos was saying it was colder here in Burnsville last night than at my brother's in upstate New York. The great sunny days make up for it. I like it here. I like the elevation. I like the cooler temps. In fact, to me, I'm impressed. I think you guys have heard me say it so many times, but when I lived in Florida, it was, I really got my fix of living in hot weather year round. And I think my roots took hold that, it's nice to have a change of seasons. It doesn't need to be an extreme change. I don't need to live in the tundras of, the North or Canada, but it is nice to have, in the summer around here in the mountains, it could be 90, 95. And in the winter, it could be 15. That's a pretty nice swing, and we don't stay in one concentrated area for the entire year. So I enjoy it. And I think it's pretty cool. Definitely lose some punch once they enter those cold Canadian waters. We'll be fine, I'm sure. Thanks, everyone. Good. Yeah, I mean, that'd be weird if it was late enough because, storm season goes till November. Like one of those storms brought you like snow or something like that. That would be pretty nuts. Hey, Brian Fisher, hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Rita is here. Always wonderful to have you here, Rita. I just looked a few minutes ago and you weren't on. Glad I checked back. Starting off blurry. Yeah. Are we still blurry now? We're 10 minutes into it. That kind of stinks. I don't know if everybody knew or not that they needed to, around the house. I go around here and I make sure that everybody is off, the internet so that I can have pretty much exclusive bandwidth. But anyway, hopefully that will, pardon me, clear itself up here momentarily, and we will be good to go. Let's see what else here. Making a small adjustment here. All right, so let's see. Oh, Chad Lovelace is here as well. Good evening, Mr. Mountain Man. Everyone feeling a little cruddy lately. Hopefully it's my allergies. Just got the notification now and seemed a little late. Hope everyone's well. No problem at all. Glad to have you here. Hope things are going well. Sorry, a little bit of, speaking of, I don't really usually have allergies, but little post-nasal drip. I keep having this like little persistent cough. Hopefully I don't drive you guys nuts here. But yeah, let's see here. We've got, so I hope you're doing well in the family. We were just talking about the mountains and it's tapering off a little bit. I bet you up your way in the upper Midwest, you probably might be even seeing a little more leaf change color going on. Let us know. Spaceman Dudley, I remember seeing you around some of the other live streams. Just subbed the other day, went to Little Switzerland on Saturday. Fantastic. Did you enjoy it? What a great place. And you hit it at an incredible time because the temperatures were great. You still get to see those lush green Blue Ridge Mountains off the Parkway. Just what a wonderful area. A lot of people enjoy that. I'm certainly going to go back there. It's a really, really cool little town. And glad to have you here and appreciate joining the channel. Take a look at the videos tab and quite a bit of content from the Western North Carolina and surrounding area. So if you like that kind of thing, I'm sure you'll like it. I appreciate it. Hey, Mike, just mentioned your name a couple minutes ago about Florida. And I hope you're doing well, having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Let us know how you're doing. Yeah, sorry, hope you're getting better. Let's see. I wish I could. Unfortunately, Hope, we just have a pretty poor internet here in the mountains. It's the only option. I would more than certainly get better internet if I had an option, but I don't. I have already put a down payment on Starlink. If that ever comes about with they get enough satellites and the coverage, they will eventually. But once I can get Starlink, for those of you that aren't familiar, this is like the first real like global internet that works via satellite. That's not like Hughes or any of the garbage they've had for the last couple of decades. This would be many factor more better, especially. So what really matters on an upload is stream. A live stream is the upload speed. And that's typically the one that's, kind of suffers when you have weak internet. So getting better internet with a better upload speed would immensely help my live streams. I appreciate you guys sticking through some of the blurriness. Hopefully it does clear up here in a little bit. How did your mother-in-law enjoy the visit? Mother-in-law, father-in-law, they were here. They enjoyed it. Getting to see the kids, they don't get to see them much. Spoiled them with, getting, candy and ice cream and, and going out to eat and stuff. And it just a really good visit and enjoyed that. It was very nice. And was happy to have them here. And it was nice to see them. And so hopefully, we'll get another opportunity for them to come, and enjoy the family. So it was very nice. It was very nice. Cafe was great. Nice drive through Spruce Pine. Yes. Yeah. Lots of different ways to get to Little Switzerland. You can kind of go up there through Burnsville, down through Spruce Pine and kind of get straight to it. Or you can take the Parkway and take the long way to get there from Asheville or coming from the other way. Just slowly starting on one of my trees. Otherwise, not too much. The color really starts taking off within a week or so. Okay, that's pretty cool. I guess I'm fooled because, I associate that area up north with a little cooler and faster getting to fall because, come Halloween, you guys could technically get a snow. So things kind of happen on a compressed time scale. But if you're still a few weeks off or a week or so off, you're not far from us. You're not far. I mean, far for our timeline as to when the leaves will be changing. I'm not feeling too badly. It's just a little persistent cough and it's just a little bit annoying, but thank you. You know what works great? My wife has just an old-fashioned natural remedy is take a big spoon, put a bunch of honey in it, and lemon juice. Just lemon juice and honey, and swallow that. It is like a pure lubricant for the throat, and it certainly helps. That's legit. I mean, probably a lot of people on here do the same thing, but it really does help. Clearing up now. Good. Hike with Mike. Yes, thank you for the reports. I'm glad that it is catching up. Probably just took it a little while for it to probably buffer and be okay. Just cleared up. Okay, so we got about 10 or 15 minutes into it. Got a call to make before getting to bed. Have a great week, everyone. I'll catch up, I promise. Thank you, Lily. Take care, everybody. Make sure to check out Lily's channel as well. And we appreciate you stopping by. Clear now. Good. Yes. Hey, Brian. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Yeah. So anyway, this past weekend, like I said, it was nice to visit with some family, but then playing a little catch up around here. And it just been, just really busy, typical. A lot's going on with the kids, work, house. It keeps me full. But I did manage to squeeze out a video on my other channel, The Eclectic Handyman. I had shot a video of getting a box of tools that was that I had bought. I knew what was in it, but I kind of unboxed it on camera like a month ago. That's how long I had been sitting on the raw video. And then finally this weekend, I was like, well, I'm gonna edit that video and get it out. I have so many videos. I went to the Ponies and the Smokies in March, which is a Mustang car show. And I took a pretty raw video. It's not well curated. I didn't have the gimbal and stuff. And like, talk about untimely. Like I need to get that video out. It's just so far behind, but the Eclectic Game Man channel is doing pretty well. I just hit, I happen to notice because when I switch between the channels on my phone, it tells me how many subscribers below the name, and it got 700. So people are enjoying that channel as well, which I enjoy. I think it's a lot of fun as well. California is cooling off. That's good. And, California is always dealing with something between fires or everything going on. So hopefully you're having some good temperatures. Yeah, anytime. Of course, always. Anybody who has a channel on here, you feel free to self-promote, drop it in. Say, I've got a channel, make sure to check me out. I've got a new video on this and this and that. So feel free to do that. Hey, Larry, how you doing? You've been a traveler around. You've been out west. I think you still are out west, and hope you are doing well. How are things in your neck of the woods? Speaking of California, since we were talking to that, Mr. Mountain Man turned into an infomercial for a brief moment. So on that, if anybody watches it, that box I opened to tools, and you don't have to watch the Eclectic Cam, man. Most of y'all are here for the mountains, but I'm opening this box of tools, and it came with a lot of stuff. Like old Craftsman made in the USA stuff is not made anymore, and some of it's, I don't want to say, I guess I could say worth money, but that makes it sound like they're collector's items. That's not what I get them for. They cost a premium because they're not made and they're quality. So whatever. I got a box and it had a whole bunch of stuff in it, and I laid everything out, and it took up like the whole tabletop. And I was like, look what I got here. I got the 3/8 inch racket. I got the bits. I got the hammer. I got these two, wrenches. I got these 6 screwdrivers. I got this. And I stopped and I was like, I sound like one of those people on QVC. And so when I edited, I cut in one of those eccentric people from the Home Shopping Network. He's selling baseball cards, going crazy. You get 10 sets. Barely $10 a box. I didn't even mean to, and I was sounding like I was selling something. It was hilarious. So yeah, I was poking fun at myself. Yes, loving the ocean views. Loving the ocean views out there. I saw one. What was it? The Santa Monica Pier? Was that the one you did? I forget. I've seen some of them. Did your in-laws enjoy the Southern cooking? That's a good question because what did we eat? We ate a lot of random. Like one night we had a lasagna, and one night we went to like Golden Corral, and one night we had pizza. And one night there was, I don't know, like I don't, that's a great question. I don't know if we ever really had Southern cooking because, you know, I don't think we ever went out for that. It was hectic last week too, because, and my wife had warned them, said, "Hey, listen, you're coming right in the middle of school, and we can't politely pump the brakes. Things still have to happen." So they basically shadowed, our life, and knew that we were busy and tried to help out where they could, like, buying a meal or fixing something. So yeah, they did it. They did enjoy it. All right, Spaceman, appreciate you stopping by, and thank you so much for the sub again. You have a wonderful week. You're going to be out in California for 3 months. I knew you were an extended period. I don't know if I knew it was 3 months. I've been out to California a few times, specifically San Diego a couple of times and San Francisco a couple of times. And I surprised my wife for her 40th birthday and took her to San Francisco, just her and I. And that was really fun. I had bought, true surprises are hard to get by in our family, and that was kind of a big deal. And I bought this picture of the Painted Ladies. You know what the Painted Ladies are? It's those row of houses. If you ever saw the old sitcom Full House, it's those really famous Victorian houses in San Francisco that are along the park there. I bought that, and it was a nice painting in itself, and it was around her birthday. And I said, or it was before the birthday. I said, "I'm going to give this to you." And I played that old 60s song. I think it was from the Mamas and the Papas in the background. Like, if you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair. I had printed out 2 fake tickets because nobody really has airplane tickets anymore to San Francisco. And I said, pack your bags. Like, tomorrow we're leaving. That's just, that was crazy. And we flew out there and went there. And I had been out there for work a few times. San Francisco is a really cool city. Super expensive, like, if you're going to live out there, but it is a really cool city. It's really nice. It's very person friendly for walking around. There's some hills and stuff, but I mean, we didn't even rent a car. We did Uber all over the place, and we just really enjoyed it. And I've been there a few times for work. San Francisco's cool. San Diego, you can't rave enough of. Speaking of weather, I don't know if there's a more perfect place in the United States for temperate weather than San Diego. Is just really, really nice. And LA, believe it or not, I really haven't been to other than flying through it. So I don't know as much about LA. But yeah, California it's pretty cool going out there. Hey, David Cantrell, how you doing? Hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. That was funny on the infomercial. Yeah, thank you. I swear I sounded like one of those people, didn't I? I also didn't know if anybody would see it because you have to watch the whole video. It was pretty much at the end. It wasn't a blooper, but it was like me repeating, what I had gotten. So I'm glad some folks did see it. I thought it was pretty fun. Hey, everyone, Mr. Mountain Man, a big favor, and put that thumbs up there, and welcome to all, whether just on the sidelines or joining in the conversation tonight. I do appreciate it. I appreciate. Let's do a thumbnail smile. I gotta. Otherwise, I've told you before, if I let YouTube at it and I don't do something to pose for a thumbnail, it'll be like this. It'll be like, some weird pose. So I have to like screen capture something and make a thumbnail because I don't use a stock one. I've thought about using a stock one for all the, the things, and that can be pretty cool too. But for right now, I'm still doing this one. Like a little boy at Christmas when you get those tools. That box, I think, was mispriced. I really do, because and for those of you that don't have context, this is a video over on the Eclectic Candyman, but there was one thing in there. Oh, there were multiple things. There was one thing in particular I really wanted, which were those crow's foot. And that set normally goes for about $60. The box was $120, and that was just one of the things. At Craftsman Made in the USA Hammer is another $25 on there. That's $85. Well, you had the sockets. I mean, you just go on and on. If I was to add up fair price, like current, not gouging, fair price for that stuff, that really was probably like a $250 to $300 box. So I got a really good deal on that. Every once in a while you find some nice little find. with that. Like that other video I did of the 79-piece Craftsman set, to piece that together nowadays, all new, you know, that could be $600, $700, $800, double whatever I paid for it. So yeah, it was a fun video. I have a lot more stuff for that channel. I mean, like I have tools I bought a year ago to do a video on a year ago that I haven't done yet. I'm just, you know, I've got plenty of stuff over there. Yes, be safe when you're driving. Have you seen the cruise ships yet? Yeah, you might. Nice surprise. Yes, it was a nice surprise. Oh, it's buffering on your end again. I was in San Diego when I was a kid. That bridge to the beach terrified me. Yeah, you know, well, now that you're in Florida, I think you're on the interior, but I didn't get the quite like the California size ones, but in Florida going over the intercoastal, like if you're not used to like bridges over large bodies of water, you know, it's kind of crazy. Whether you're on the Gulf side, the Atlantic side, maybe going down to the Keys or over there in San Diego, some of that. Yeah. It is crazy. Oh, Christina says, greetings from the Bay Area. I lived in San Francisco for years, hoping to relocate to North Carolina. So beautiful. Scott McKenzie, I think. Oh, if you're going to San Francisco song. Yes. Where I mean, I could have gotten it that particular day. I think I could have, you know, I just could have put it on the background on YouTube or whatever. But I believe I had it because I had it. It was on it was on the Forrest Gump soundtrack, which I had bought 2 decades ago or whatever. And when I digitized all my music, it's just real easy to have all of it at your convenience. So I think I had played it from there. In fact, if it's still here, let me see. Forrest Gump, if I still have it. Let's see. Looking for it. Is that on? There's 2 discs. There's 2 discs to that. Let me see here. It is San Francisco. If you be sure to wear flowers in your hair. Scott McKenzie, Forrest Gump soundtrack, right there. Yep. So you are right, Christina O. Glad to have you here. Welcome to the live stream. I'm not sure if I've said hello or not before. If I haven't, hello. If I have, hello again. Yeah, San Francisco is awesome. Like we stayed in the financial district, did it up and like stayed at like, you know, on the top floor at one of the hotels, and because she was turned 40, and just went everywhere up and down Columbus. Is it Avenue or Street? I forget. And you know, ate where we wanted, and you know, we were running lean because we didn't have the kids, so we could do a little bit more. And we enjoyed. That was a fantastic trip. San Francisco is a great place. I think anybody looking for an excellent domestic vacation of a different flavor, and when I say different flavor, I mean like we always think of the beach or maybe the mountains or, you know, Disney World or, you know, those kinds of things. San Francisco is a great place to go. Lots of good food too. I mean, there's Fisherman's Wharf. It's a big city. Yeah, but I can appreciate what Mike's saying to AZ Rock here as well. Like, you know, it's nice because sometimes, you know, you mix it up a little bit. You know, I too, you know, these days not as fond of crowds and stuff, but you know, once in a while I don't mind it. It's a nice change up. You know, I'll go a few days a week, be, you know, in the mix of things. Like when I went to the Philippines a few years ago, that was actually 3 years ago today. I was over there, and that blurriness is caused by me, not by the light. There we go. We're good. But yes, I can appreciate that. Looking nice, Mr. Mountain Man in the dress shirt. I know. So Mondays, I don't usually go to the gym because of this. And so, you know, it's one or the other. And so I was getting dressed today and I said, well, let me, you know, I have a whole bunch of polos. And I said, yeah, let me just throw one on here. So yeah, looking a little different than my Gold's Gym shirt tonight with my polo on. I appreciate the kind comment. Yes, Larry did see the Queen Mary. And I think my parents, if they ever show up again, they're going to go on isn't it the Queen Mary 2 or something like that? They can go on a cruise. They had just mentioned that. So it was kind of a coincidence. The day I moved to Florida was the day the Sunshine Skyway Bridge fell into Tampa Bay. My goodness. It was hit by a phosphate freighter. Wow, that's crazy. So I wonder what that clearance would have been like, because those freighters, I know they're tall, but usually the bridges, wow, that's crazy. I don't, yeah. Oh, I will have to look that up. I'm kind of a person about documentaries, about hearing about that stuff. That's pretty crazy. I have to look at that again. What year was that, Mike? What roughly? What time period was that? Did you make it to Alcatraz? This is interesting. So the few times I've been there, one of the times I went out on a bay cruise to see when the air show was there for Fleet Week. Related to it, I'm out in the bay, can see Alcatraz. We're watching the jets go above. It was incredible. That wasn't the trip with my wife. That was a different trip. But I have not been to Alcatraz. There's just so many famous things to do in San Francisco. So yeah, it's definitely something. It's too bad because that was pre this channel, but it would have been nice to capture some of that stuff. And Rita, you hit the nail on the head. I would like to visit California, not want to live there. Yeah, I think my sister has a good deal of years lived there because her husband is a career military in the Marines. And so they've done, several stints living in California, including right now. And so, there's a lot of parts they enjoy. And, and then I know Brian's there, and, Larry's out there and I visited there. So yeah, it's definitely great for vacation. There are parts that are expensive, but it's a big state. I mean, if you look geographically from all the way down from Mexico, all the way up to Oregon, I mean, if you take that over to the East Coast, you're crossing through like 8 states, what California is north to south. So that's a interesting state because it's so many different, temperatures and what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's just, from the south to the north, it's like you're not even, it's not, you won't even know you're in the same state. Favorite color is shirt. Yeah, appreciate it. This is this gray, it goes with anything. What if I have to wear this, black pants or gray pants or khaki pants or whatever, or jeans, shorts, all that. This definitely does. Yeah. 1980. Okay, that's probably why I didn't know about it. That's been some time, but I will have to look that up. May of 1980. Okay. Most do not realize that Alcatraz is a lighthouse. Do you want to know what my first, sometimes pop culture is your first exposure into things. Remember, pre-internet, by the way, guys, like we're talking like all of us. Do you guys, sometimes it's hard to fathom before the internet. Any of us want to know something today. We just pull up Google, talk to our watch, talk to, Amazon. What is it? Why do I want to say Alexis? What is it? Amazon. Anyway, I'm having a big brain fart. Anyway, the internet, we can look up anything. Back in the day, you have to pull your Britannica, your encyclopedia, just common knowledge and stuff. So anyway, not everything. I think people are much more knowledgeable today than they were decades ago. But the movie The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage takes place at The Rock, Alcatraz. And I think that was my first exposure to kind of seeing, what is that place, but no, I did not know it was a lighthouse. When I was there in San Francisco, I didn't go to Alcatraz either. I figured I'd go back someday. Yeah, that's kind of what I did too, is that you get mesmerized by this massive downtown and city. Climate regions. Yeah, like climate regions, like exactly. That's the kind of thing I was thinking of. It's very different from north to south, east to west. Mountains, dry, arid. Are the schools there making kids wear masks all day? Yeah, I'm pausing for a second. Yes, but it's different district by district. It's it's mandated, I think, by the county rather than by at the state level. So, but because I think some of the different counties have flip-flop back and forth. But to be quite honest, the kids don't mind it. It's not a big deal, or they'll wear a decorative one. And it's only the parents that made it out political. The kids kind of go with the flow with it, and they don't. It's hasn't been so bad. I just hope in the grand scheme of things for everything, we move on healthily as a whole world, and can get beyond the pandemic. Did not know that. I wish I had gone. Yes. The first time I heard about Actress was when I saw Scorpions music video. No one like you. No one like you. Yeah, I know that song. I did not do it justice, but I like, well, I guess you can't really call that classic rock, but it ends up on my classic rock station. First time I heard the Scorpions was on a mix tape back in the 80s that my parents had gotten. And there was this Scorpions, was it Rocky Like a Hurricane? I think was on there. Yeah. I have Alcatraz in my Lighthouse collection. That is cool. Very, very cool. Yes. Britannica. Yes. I mean, I remember when I was in junior high school, you wanted to know something, like say some country came up and you wanted to know about it. Like, I don't know, Spain or Ireland or something. Like right now, if you were to think about, I want to know a little bit about that, you would just, put it on the internet and look up pictures and all kinds of stuff. Back in the day, you'd pull out all right, SP is between these letters. Let me find Spain, and then you turn to it. And for a country, you might get devoted, 20 or 30 pages of the economy and the government and the different provinces and states or whatever, depending on the country. So yeah, it was a different world. World book. Yes. Depends on where you are, Rita. Some are optional and some makes everyone wear them. Right. That's yes. To me, the Bay Area has lost its sense of community. Must be why I appreciate Mr. Mountain. I usually hang in the background. Been here since 1982. Never have been to Alcatraz. Well, that's I don't know San Francisco that well. Obviously, what I'm regurgitating is about, as a tourist viewpoint. But that's an interesting dynamic, the sense of community. I wonder, San Francisco is so big, I wonder if is it viewed like the main downtown area versus kind of the suburbs and getting outward and then going across the bridge to Oakland and the other areas, is it like all of the areas that have lost that sense of community? Some of that could be said for a lot of areas, to be honest with you. I think some of it to get a little, to hypothesize here, is a little of the good and bad of everybody moving around the United States. Jobs enable ability to move where we want to go. We're not limited, maybe like we were 30, 40, 50 years ago. We don't always have to have that family support system. Technology has bridged the gap. A long time ago, you move far away, you're making these expensive long distance phone calls. Now you can have video chats, and it's just this sense of enablement to move wherever you want. So deep culture of a given area is kind of it becomes kind of it's becoming a thing of the past. And what I mean by that is, like, even here in Asheville, like, to find people that were born and raised and like went to school here and their families from here, it's much less than it is more. When I lived in Florida, the people that were actually from the area that we lived in Central Florida, they didn't there were very few people from that area as well. They were all transplants. So I think maybe what I'm getting at is that sense of community comes from people living in an area for extended period of time and multiple generations that build that sense of community. But now, how we all just kind of move around, myself included. I mean, having lived in Ohio, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida, it's, I guess community has to be resurrected very quickly by the new people that come to it. So maybe that's a little bit deep, but I wonder if you guys are experiencing some of that as well. Yeah, keep your day job. No singing Scorpions anymore. I know. When it comes down to it, less is truly more. I came across a book once at the bookstore, and I started looking at it, like how to be more minimal in your life. It was interesting. Did I take anything from it? No, but it's a good reminder once in a while. Actually talk about it a lot. I mean, you hear me on these live streams talking about how busy everything is and how I don't have time for anything. You know, that's self-created. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody else. Those are decisions I've made that, you know, make life the way it is. And I'm very blessed and I feel happy. And so I'm just speaking very matter of factly about it. But yeah, less is more. This is a true statement. The bad thing about the internet is it doesn't always get everything right. Sometimes you have to do research. This is true. When the internet came about early on, there was a much more common saying, which we've all heard, but don't believe everything you've read on the internet. Everybody here has heard that. It's an old cliche, old fashioned saying. Well, everybody used to believe that, you know, when the internet was really making its, you know, mainstream into households with AOL and, you know, and all these other ISPs in the late 90s, you know, early 2000s. That's what, you know, people don't believe everything you read. You know, I could create a site and put all kinds of garbage on it, and somehow that doesn't make me an authority on anything. So this is the truth. There's no checks and balances for that. You know, somebody was mentioning that about in reference to this past year and all the confusion on everything and people becoming homegrown experts in things they shouldn't be. And that, you know, decades ago, when you had to go through kind of mainstream news sources, whether or not they had a political sway, there were usually checks and balances for the most part to keep those people in line. You know, to, you know, if you posting garbage, it was either known it was garbage or, you know, there had to be, you know, a comment later that something was printed incorrectly or something to that nature. Now everybody is an authority on everything. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that believe that stuff. And so, you know, you give somebody a mic and a camera or a keyboard and everybody becomes an authority on something. So these are very, very true comments. Two good ones in a row. Less is more and don't believe everything you read. Kids today do not really learn how to research anything. That is so sad. Also can't add 2 + 2 because of calculators and phones. So sad. Yeah. Thankfully I can vouch a little bit that my kids were doing math homework previous to this. I was helping them with it. Guess who was using the calculator to do some fractions? This guy right here, yours truly. Not basic fractions I could have done in my head, but mixed ones that I couldn't remember the reasoning. But one of my kids was doing it and did it by hand without ever looking on the internet. So if there's hope there, Foxy, there are some kids that are still doing very well, that are using their brains. So that's good. But I do agree with you. And so I was the one using the calculator today or the phone actually with the calculator. Please, seems lately people believe something first and then go out on the internet to find something to support it. Couldn't be more true. It's this statement is either very clear to people or it's not. And for me, it's very, very clear. You can't, you know, I came up with this saying in the last year. I think it could be a bumper sticker, which is weak minds fall prey to strong voices. You know, but everybody is able to do their own, you know, it's not about level of education or anything like this. It's just about, you know, just relying on, you know, valid, you know, and decent sources. And it's just a problem. It's sad. But anyway, you hope that, you know, people can make good decisions about things and process that information. So yeah, some great comments from the community tonight. Yeah, you know, just going back to, you know, how that conversation started, though, it's interesting just how times change. I bring that up often. I mean, you know, everything was about books or reference manuals, or, I mean, think about even like Eclectic Candyman, like all those videos I put out or things I learned because I need to figure out something, some plumbing or like something around the house. I'll just go watch a video. 25 years ago, you better have had some plumbing manual or some electrical manual or something that was a guide to kind of tell you how to do things. Not even that long ago at Home Depot, when I had my first house about 15-ish years, I don't remember exactly how many years ago it was. I bought a book on how to paint properly, like inside a house. I mean, this isn't something I grew up doing. I was painting other things, but I wasn't painting, you know, walls. So I wanted to see the techniques and stuff. I bought a book at Home Depot. Today, would I buy a book? No, I would go to YouTube and I would say, you know, how to do this type of, whatever, if I needed to learn something. So it's kind of made books kind of obsolete. Good night. Until next time, have a wonderful, safe night and week. Absolutely, Adriana, sure. Glad you could join us. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Hey, Pastor Dan and Kim, great picture of the dog there. As always, glad to have you here. I hope you're having a nice start to this week, a nice Monday. Let us know. I have to sign off now, folks. Y'all take care and have a great week. Absolutely. You as well. Thank you so much. Let me switch over real quickly here to the housekeeping for the week of September the 27th, 2021. Little bit of housekeeping. I am working on the other video that I had from Myrtle Beach. I mentioned this last week as well. I also mentioned it's much easier to edit, and that is a true statement. I'm probably half or more the way through. I would like to have that done this week and then upload it and begin processing by the end of the week. So hopefully there'll be a new video on this channel. As I mentioned, the Eclectic Candyman had a new video. I'll probably put out another one on that at some point as time permits. What else is going on? Brent TV did respond or put a comment on the Myrtle Beach video. He goes, "Yep, that's me." So that was kind of fun. I mean, the guy's up to he's got to be at how many subscribers does that guy have? My kids absolutely love him. I enjoy him too. I watch some of his videos from time to time. Brent TV has 1.61 million subscribers. That's pretty awesome with 381 videos. That's a really, really good ratio. And what I mean by ratio is if you look at the subscriber to video count, like how many videos did it take a person to grow their channel? And so that's pretty good, actually. Less than 500 videos, he's got 1.6 million. He took off. It's got a great format. So anyway, he left a comment. That was pretty cool. I also do not have any news and notes for the week. So that's a housekeeping that I don't have any news and notes. I just wasn't able to get to them. I may experiment. Let's talk a little bit about the news and notes. Let's talk for a couple minutes about the news and notes. Yes, Adriana, have a great week. Yes. And thank you, AZ Rock. I appreciate that. Hit the thumbs up button. So I only have a half dozen people or so here. The news and notes is a format that I really enjoy on the Mountain Man Monday live stream, where I have, I've kind of boiled down to 3 articles per week stemming from the mountains and beyond, the weather, and specifically for the news and notes, and typically interesting things, whether that's about local themes, attractions, food, dining, Blue Ridge Parkway, travel, things of that nature. I really enjoy that and thought that is a fun format, but it does take time, which is very expensive, obviously, time to put that together. I notice on the live streams when I keep a little eye on the viewer count that we get some folks drop off when I start to go into the news and notes. But I don't want to drop the news and notes because I really like it. I really like the uniqueness that it brings to my live stream. I never intended for my live streams to be just a freestyle chat only. I wanted a format. That's why I call it by episode number. So these episodes have a format to them with that, and I really like it. But I'm not seeing the growth with the live stream related to the format of it. And because it does take time, not only does it take time to put it together, it takes time to read it, go through it, and discuss it, which can double the live stream length. So I want to keep it. This is not looking or hunting for a reason to drop it, but I also would like to see that it's a valued part of it. So one of the things I thought about experimenting with was, instead of having it at the tail end of the live stream, because the episode format of Mountain Man Monday is that was a key part of it, is actually to lead off the live stream with it. So that would be maybe 5 minutes top of a lead off in the live stream and immediately into housekeeping and news and notes. meaning that the real part of the Mountain Man Monday live stream would be that content. Then post that would be the freestyle chat, which is kind of just what we're doing now, talking until the live stream's closed out. Do you have any feedback on that or opinions on it, in what you like? Nobody has been blatantly honest with me to say, I really don't care for that part. And, please feel free to say if you don't, or if you're listening to this later and want to leave a comment below. But I will be very honest. I'm getting less than 100 views on my Mountain Man Monday live streams. And I just like to be honest. I'm having a hard time justifying the amount of time I'm spending on that content when I'm not really getting the community. And I get a lot of people that'll drop in and say, I can only stay for a minute and leave. So I don't know. I just want some feedback on what you guys think on it. I really want to keep it. I really enjoy it. I enjoy talking about those stories. I enjoy reading them, and in the discussions it evolves, especially around like Ghost Town in the Sky, when the seasons are changing, current events, things going on in Asheville and Western North Carolina. Let me know in the comments. Let's have a little discussion about that, because again, tonight I don't have the news and notes. I was not able to get to it. Thinking about changing the format of the live stream to lead off with that content after about 5 minutes, and then going to freestyle chat. Let me catch up on the comments here. Yes, thank you for that. Is the Instagram account. I'll share some of those pictures here in a second. I'm sorry, I'm reading the comments trying to catch up. I always enjoy the news and notes, especially when it spurs discussions. Okay, good. That's 1 point for it. If any of you all have any suggestions as well for, I get, this really falls on my shoulders, not yours, but getting a little more traction on the Mountain Man Monday live stream as well. I keep mentioning, I've mentioned it like 6 times already. There's a Facebook group that I've seen, a few of them, and one's like Blue Ridge Life or something like that. And it's nothing but people asking, when are the leaves going to turn, and what can I do in Asheville, and what are some places to do, and what's the good stops on the Blue Ridge Parkway? And I'm like, man, if these people would just listen at the live stream, we talk about this stuff all the time. So I don't know, but it's not a big deal. I'm not looking to have it doesn't mean that in order to justify it, I need to have 500 people show up. I'm not looking for that, but it seems like, to be quite honest, in the 2 years that I've held that format, maybe a year and a half, I haven't gained popularity. I use that word and not the way you might think, by metrics. I don't mean by popular. I haven't gained any people enjoying that extra. So I don't know. Maybe it's too laborious. Maybe people are like, I hear that come on. I don't really live in the mountains. I don't want to hear about it. So anyway, let me read some more comments here. Let's see what you guys got going on. You enjoy the news and notes, Foxy. And I need to be very clear also on something. There's a key group of people here that are immensely important to me doing Mountain Man Monday. And I hope I don't miss any names here, but like Rita, Foxy, Larry, AZ, Ted and Deborah Harrison, a lot of these people, Hope. I'm probably missing a couple of names. I'm talking about the people that have been here like every week, from a long time. And you guys don't have to be here. If you guys got things going on, totally get it. I'm just saying, I've thought about it before. I'm like, you know what, if I'm only making 5 or 6 people happy and I'm doing it, but they love it, then I'll continue to do it. So I'm in that camp too. But I just want to know if anybody, wants, feels differently. I enjoy the news notes and housekeeping. You can try to putting the news notes on earlier and see how it goes. Yes. Okay. Thank you, AZ Rock. Please keep my aunt in mind when you pray. She's been very sick the past few days. Absolutely. We will do that, Hope, for sure. And I hope that your aunt, gets better, is on the up and up, and she does feel better. Yes, for sure. I think when it's about the area, it's interesting. People want to know what's going on there. Yeah. I find it interesting. I don't know. I look back at some of the things I've gotten. Some of the articles are really interesting. like when we talk about, for example, the situation over in Great Smoky Mountains National Park and how they have had to pay for parking, which us here tonight, we're talking about that a year and a half ago based on personal experience, seeing people tear up the grounds and how difficult it was. So it's neat as we've watched kind of the evolution of that stuff. I enjoy the news and notes of the area. Very informative. That's why I watch, and that was why you were recommended to me. Great. That is awesome. If you, so, you know, I'm hearing positive stuff. I may just try moving it to the front end of the live stream as opposed to the back end. The other thing I was talking to my wife, it's just a truth. I think starting late is probably hurts some in the community wanting to join. Tonight I got on at 8:15, I think. And so that's not bad. That was pretty good. But you know, a lot of people, as we've seen, have to go to bed. They work early, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, getting on 8 or 9 o'clock in the East, you know, that's bedtime. And so, yeah, it'd probably be ideal if I could get on at like, I don't know, 6:30 or 7, probably. You know, I can see if I can back up a little bit and make that happen as well. But I was just curious for some feedback. And again, anybody listening in the background or who might listen later and wants to leave a comment, feel free to do that. The reason I asked for this feedback is obviously there's a way to have a feedback loop on YouTube. That's thumbs up, thumbs down, and metrics and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just noticing that for a good year or two now, I'm just not getting the traction that I had anticipated. I'm not talking about subscriber growth. I'm happy with the size of the Mountain Man channel, but if you look proportionally, I have almost 1,400 subscribers, and you know, these days we're only getting about a dozen people to show up to Mountain Man Monday. So I have to question, what am I doing? Am I doing something that's not entertaining or something like that? So just looking for a little bit of community feedback on that. If you want tips and tricks from around the house and learn tools and how to use them, and tune into the Mr. Mountain Man alter ego channel at youtube.com, the Eclectic Candyman. Yes, a different side of the fence, doing different things and kind of like a how-to entertainment channel. Pretty neat between the two channels. I enjoy them both. Got my wife to watch with you. She enjoys the news notes too. That's one additional viewer. We use one device. You probably don't get credit for the one view. Yeah, and no, you guys are, again, you know, Mr. Carlos has been here for a while. And now we got, you know, Pastor Dan and Kim and a lot of good folks here. Never want to minimize that, please. Like when I see Foxy show up and Rita and, you know, everything, it's like, this is awesome. This is what Monday is so much fun. But we have such good discussion, sans some of the news and notes. If it's just going to be a campfire talk, you know, maybe I would forego it. But I thought it would be a little more popular than it is. In fact, I even did an experiment. It's not an exact science, where I would change the thumbnail on the live stream from my face, whatever, to some interesting article from the night. Like if you look at the live streams, and I'm like, oh, this will be cool because people will see like me talking about when are the leaves going to change or these things, and nobody's clicking on it, you know. So I was just trying to, you know, get some real-time feedback. Down in Asheville area, October 31st, November 3rd, that's going to be just a fantastic, beautiful fall time in these neck of the woods. Foxy Wolf recommended you, Mr. Mountain Man, because of the format, because of being informative. That's why I'm here. A+. So I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the format, and I plan on sticking with it. I enjoy it, but I might change it up because, again, I've seen sometimes where I'm going on for about 45, 50 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I got to get to the news and notes. And I'll watch, and we'll have like 15 people, and then I start the news and notes, and it'll go down to like 9 or 10. And so I'm definitely losing people when I fire that up. Who they may be, I don't know. And but I was just trying to get some of that snacks and drinks. Yeah. If I could put it through the thing here, right? You know, like so we talk about food here enough. Love the live streams. I don't think you need to change a thing. I appreciate. And if there was some lurker in the background that said, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I love all the fun free chatter, but I don't like the freestyle chatter, but I don't like the news notes because I live in, you know, Ohio or Pennsylvania, and we don't go to the mountains. I don't know. You know what? I don't know why they'd be listening to me then, but I like the information you have to tell us. Gives you ideas for future trips and vacations. Okay. Yes. Yes. That sounds good. That's good. I try to do that. Like, when I look at the articles, like one of the things that takes time is I don't just go pull the top 3 articles. I have to go to different sources and think, you know, what time of the season is it? And what are people going to find interesting? And I also try to stay away from things that are too esoteric. You guys have seen even tonight, you know, I like to get into good discussions, even, you know, philosophical or hypothesis or, you know, more intellectual type of conversations. I really enjoy that, you know, speaking with other folks in the community. And I think you guys have some terrific insight. I do think for others that may scare them off. They might want something a little more lighthearted than, you know, talking about, you know, my hypothesis on why community has changed. I don't know. I enjoy that kind of conversation, but others might just, you know, want something a little more two-dimensional. But I try to have a mix of lighthearted and then, you know, a little more in depth, you know. Maybe the title Mr. Mountain Man thinks is going to be something. Well, Mr. Mountain Man thinks it is going to be something different. Maybe it's just all about the mountains. Hard to tell. You mean the title Mountain Man Monday? Like that they think it's only about the mountains. Yeah. Like, one of the things I started doing, but it's only after the live stream, and I could start to do this, is hashtagging the different topics along what you're talking about, Rita, so that in the description, people would see what the upcoming topics are. So I did it in retro for last week. So like the articles we had, hashtag leaves changing, hashtag I don't know, Asheville or whatever it was, so that people could see that. That might be a help that I could maybe curate it beforehand. What else was we are dog friendly, or we are so doggone friendly here, and we have a lot of bantering between us here, and I love that as well. Yes, you know, I really like the kind of the discussions that we have. As long as you're happy with us showing up, we are happy with the show. Good. Yeah. You know, every week I don't, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, go on about, you know, getting pats on the back or anything like that. That is not where I'm going. I'm just trying to, you know, without sounding like a broken record, you know, like there's a lot going on in life. And so I enjoy being here. I just want to make sure that it's worth it to everybody. And also the format. So if I'm going to be here regardless, do I need to switch up the format? I don't really, I have no desire to drop the news and notes. I think it's the key unique characteristic. And I had always wanted to do it. I can't remember which episode I started that with, but it was early. If it wasn't in the first 10 or I swear it was in the first 10 or 20 episodes, I could figure it out whenever it started. But anyway, I like it. Live stream grilling. Just kidding. I want to know what was in the foil. That was corn on the cob. I often do corn on the cob if I can get it and it's fresh. This year has been kind of hit or miss. Like, I mean, there's corn growing all about, but I remember being at Walmart like in the middle of August, which is normally high time for corn, and stuff was nasty, like black and bugs flying around it, like gross produce. It was just probably a bad week for Walmart, but that was foil. And that's I'm sorry, guys, not mean to blow your eardrums out with my coughing. The live stream thing is a truth. I have not exercised that option enough. I am able to do it. I can do the mobile live stream. I've only done the one in Myrtle Beach. It's another great way to do things. My particular liking, see, again, I enjoy if I'm going to go out to do a curated video that I can edit and serve up like really well refined for you guys when I go to a place rather than kind of ad hoc. I know some people do that and they're probably more successful than me, but sometimes I like, you know, to be able to take a breath and understand what I'm looking at, and get it more educated on the area, and be able to really communicate about it well, rather than, kind of walking around some street. What's up here? Oh, that's a parking lot. Okay, well, well, never mind. What is that? A restaurant? Oh no, that's a lawyer's office. Okay, all right, let's keep walking. What's this here? Oh, that's an old closed down grocery store. I don't know. Like maybe I get it. That could be cool too. But me, I'd rather shoot the city, you know, or town, and then come up and do it. Good gracious, a little differently. So that's my thinking. That's why I haven't exercised the option for the live stream, mobile live streams more, because I also really like Mountain Man Monday and the way that the format was here. I think the later time hurts more than anything. This is probably the number one. I really probably think this is the truth. So to give it a fair shot on Mountain Man Monday, I should probably try two things. And one is to lead off with the content, then go to freestyle chat. Maybe I'll even create a banner that's called freestyle style. Let's see. That work? There you go. Freestyle chat. Maybe I won't have to have a banner, but yeah. So I think what Foxy was saying here is that this is probably number one reason right here is the later time. So leading off with the content and starting a little bit earlier. Again, I'm probably talking in circles. I don't have to have massive amount of traction or growth. I just don't want to get attrition, like people dropping off. If there's 10 people and I dropped a 4 when I start the news and notes, I pay attention to that. If there's 10 people when I start the news and notes and when I finish there's 10, that's good. That's fine. Also, if you don't mind, Mr. Mountain Man, please try to find an ADA accessible things well in and around North Carolina. Because of you and somebody else who had mentioned on the channel, a couple comments I got of people saying, I'm not able to do this anymore because of my knee or that. I'm trying to highlight that in my videos. I haven't exclusively done ADA areas yet, but like if you notice when I go to do some of the videos, I try to mention like especially if I'm on a hike, I try to talk about elevation, height, pitch and stuff. And if it's, accessible or not, I try to do my best. And because of folks such as yourself asking for it, I will continue to try to emphasize that point when I make a new video. I think that's a really important point, and I thank you for bringing that up. I thought it was, but I couldn't tell for sure. Oops. In typical fashion, I can't connect the dots. I don't know what that was on. What comment? Oh, the corn. I had to look up to your other ones. Yes, it was corn. I live in Pennsylvania, but I love the mountains. We are planning to retire the Smokies, so the local info is loved and welcome. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's more about not axing it altogether because, again, I have great passion and enjoyment of it, but just maybe reformatting the time that I do that. We are all just like a big family and talk about everything, and people who don't stick around just lose out in the fun talk. If y'all knew me, I tend to be kind of what could I do better? What am I not doing well enough? How could I improve? Rather than, oh yeah, you're doing it right. So but I will fully admit that I look at some of the content. I remember my wife, she doesn't watch all these. She just doesn't have time, but she turned one on. This was a few months ago. She's like, oh my goodness. She's like, I didn't realize your Mountain Man Monday live or your live stream, she just said, are so interesting. She's like, it's not that I thought you were doing something like pointless, but she's like, I had no idea. She's like, the stuff you talk about is really interesting. Like, I really enjoyed that. And I was like, yeah, what do you think we were talking about? I'm like, and she's like, I don't know. I thought you were always just talking about like the same thing over and over or something. I'm like, no, we talk about new topics and all kinds of stuff. So to the end of what you're saying here, Rita, I think, yeah, some folks are mixing that. If you keep coughing, do we need to put on a mask? Yeah. Thankfully, because of the visual here, maybe I should put on the mask, right? It's like this dry cough. Like I'm reaching for like, oh, I do have a cough drop. but I don't want to eat that while I'm on that. When you do excessive weightlifting, do you get a lot of muscle cramps? This is a great question. The answer is yes, but only in particular muscle groups. I never get muscle cramps. I don't want to say never, but for the most part, I never get muscle cramps in my legs, in my back, or in my shoulders. But I can get some horrible cramping on chest day and in my forearms on anything related to arm day. And what I mean by that is I have had my pec muscles in my chest like 3 hours after lifting at home, about to watch TV, and I've taken a shower. Something about the temperature in the water kind of activates it, where it like, I'd have to move the comment. Let me see. Like the chest muscle will like tighten up, and like it even looks weird, and it's so painful. And the same thing in my arm, like it can like lock up like right here. Like especially it's like 3 hours after, it could get so painful in each arm. Like if I go to bed, I'm kind of a stomach sleeper, so I kind of sleep on my stomach and put my arm under the pillow. I can get some cramping in there. And so I did some research on it a while ago, and I drink a ton of water, but apparently I need 2 tons of water because the way I lift and the stuff I do. So on those particular days, I like drink so much water, like to try to combat it because it's so uncomfortable. So this is a great question that you had there. It's interesting that you brought that up because that does happen. And so, yeah, if it's on those days, I'm really cognizant of it. So I'm like, okay, you got to go to the refrigerator, keep getting the water and go and get hydrated so that those muscles will prevent from doing that. Yeah, I think that was supposed to probably equate to some emojis, or maybe it wasn't, but the elbow cough was social distancing. Yeah, so I could see him. I would like to see you do some live streams walking around Asheville or maybe surrounding areas. Yes, so I was thinking about, I've thought about 100 times about doing a Mountain Man Mobile live stream from downtown Asheville, but I really want to do a curated Asheville video. I was talking about last night. Cannot believe the age of this channel, and I am in Asheville and I haven't done an Asheville video yet. The problem is I'm starting to become a little bit of a perfectionist, and if I can't shoot it the way I want with the angles and the content and the knowledge and stuff, it kind of slows me down a little bit. But anyway, not to worry. That's very high on my list of things to do, and it's a great idea. I'm considering that news and notes for tonight. Yeah, there you go. There's your information for tonight. Drink lots of water when you exercise, for sure. I like that, Mr. Carlos. Yeah. I've been wheelchair bound since 2012, so that's why I was asking about things to do in wheelchairs. Absolutely. Because for folks in wheelchairs, one of the things typically is the larger, well-known establishments and places, like when you think about theme parks and entertainment like Disney or Dollywood and those, they have, great, I can't speak on the behalf, but it's a perceived good setup for ADA, whether that's line queues, getting through, being compliant, making sure there's rails and ramps and all the necessaries. But the smaller you go and the more small town and niche you go, it seems like less and less. Like the little corner restaurant, was built in the 60s, and I don't know what the laws are, but you have to walk up 2 steps to get to it, and there's no ramp to get in the building, that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I will try to make sure to keep an eye out and, mention those kinds of things. Love the questions, love the feedback, love the conversation. Let me share a couple pictures, and then I'm going to head out for the night. So let me go back to the housekeeping, and let's go ahead and share and get over to this other one. I think I only have a couple of pictures, actually. Let's go over here and what was the date on this one? Did I show that last week? What's that date? How many days ago? 1 week ago. Yeah, you probably saw it. 4-leaf clover, a real 4-leaf clover. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I had mentioned to you, Oh, somebody told me here it's not a 4-leaf clover. What? Is this true, guys? I'm not a plant specialist. Kind of looks like the sorrel family of oxalate. Do not see markings in shape of the clover. Just checking on. Okay. Is anybody knowledgeable on this comment here? Is this not a 4-leaf clover? Well, we don't have to spoil the day. I mean, if you look at the emoji, it looks like a 4-leaf clover. And if that's not a 4-leaf clover, I'm not going to disappoint my wife who actually found it. So anyway, let me know in the comments. Oof. Yep. Who's hungry a little Saturday afternoon grilling? Actually, what was that picture? No, it was afternoon, but I went on the morning to buy the groceries. Burgers turned out pretty good. The burgers were good. I ate 3 of them. That's not all with bread. I think the first one I had a double, and the third one I ate with a fork. The hot dogs were good too. I always get Oscar Mayer nitrate-free ones. It's like $4 a pack, but they're really good. And the corn on the cob. And here you go. The leaf peeping season is just around the corner here in the mountains. Look at that. All by its lonesome. I think this exact same tree last year did the exact same thing. And I saw this one leaf on the driveway. In a month, there'll be like a billion of these things. So yeah, it's starting to show some signs. I love the green, but this was like kind of a fun picture right there. So yeah, Mr. Mountain _man here on Instagram. You can check out and see some pictures and stuff like that over there. Let's see if anybody has any information on the clover. You do such a great job in live streams. I don't understand why you worry so much about videos. Yeah, it's just one of the things I really enjoy about the videos, even though there's so much work, is I really like, it's kind of like a keepsake of an event, even though I'm only recording, usually me and bystanders, and not others, but I like it. It's a great memory time capsule. Like the one I just made of Myrtle Beach, even though it was a boatload of work, is so cool. Like I've already watched it like 3 or 4 times. I really enjoy it. It's really cool. And I kind of like the way that it came out. And I like the creativity that I'm getting behind it. And some of the other ones are pretty neat as well. So yeah, but the live streams, it's like a 1-2 punch because you get to be kind of off the cuff and just speak and have fun, without having to do a lot of research or, news knows, but I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, you can just go live and make it happen. Looks like sorrel. Okay. Looks like a 4-leaf to me. What is a sorrel? What is that? I don't even know what that is. Now I have to go get educated. I need the news and notes. Maybe that should be the one for next week. Hey, Larry, glad to have you back. I will be wrapping it up here in a couple of minutes. I am just about done, but I hope you're doing well. I was getting a little feedback on the format. Might switch it up a little bit, do news and notes early on in the live stream, and maybe start trying to pull this live stream up earlier to get more of the Mr. Mountain Man community involved. Because I think this stuff where I'm on at like 10 o'clock at night is only for the hardcore folks that are here right now, including myself. Tried burgers tonight on the George Foreman. Next week, we're coming to your place. Yes, George Foreman. I had forgot about that. We had one of those years ago, or the generic version of them. Those things are actually really good. When we lived in an apartment, we had one of those, and you cook the chicken and the burgers and had the little tray that you drop the juice out. If you don't have a grill, I had forgotten how good those things are. That is, yeah, I mean, it's funny, but those things are really good. Some trees just turn early because they bloom late. Okay. Yep. There's the comment of the night. Look up sorrel in your encyclopedia, Mr. Mountain Man. Let me get one of my books over here and get that. I will absolutely have to look that up. That is great. I like that, AZ Rock. Play a rerun. It'll be there when it's over. Yes. Good. Yes. Thank you, Hope, for that. I appreciate that. All right. Well, I will have to look up sorrel. Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night on that. Another good live stream. I promise to try to keep the abstract discussions about the channel to a minimum, but I appreciate the feedback because I figure you guys can give the best, I don't want to drive direction in a vacuum. So just to make sure that we're maximizing. And I agree. I think the long and the short of it is, I think probably the time is the biggest factor. I think not jumping on in the community till 8 or 9 o'clock is just too late for some people. And I'm going to try to also incorporate maybe more of the metadata ahead of time with some hashtags and topics. Maybe I could even, I could experiment with a custom thumbnail on the live stream that has the topics ahead of time. I always kind of like it being a surprise when I get to the news and notes, but I could try that too. And then, front loading with the content and then going to the freestyle chat at the back end of it. So, all great suggestions, good comments, and I appreciate it. Let's see. That's part of started why I'm doing videos for the memories and the kids and grandkids see as long as YouTube's around. It's funny. I go back to my old videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. Like the Chimney Rock one, people love it. My first one, but I guess I was still a little shy around the camera. I wasn't shy, but I was just like, it just wasn't as enthusiastic as some of my newer videos. And I was like, oh, so, maybe I could redo it, but people love it. They love it. And I got a really, really nice comment yesterday on that. Somebody's like, oh, I love Last of the Mohicans. And this video was so awesome to show the trail. And I love comments like that. That's a lot of fun when I see that. Cause of course I like the Last of the Mohicans too. Not to publish, but do you have an extra video of the family on your adventures? Years from now, you'll treasure the memories. Yeah. So I do, obviously, but this is a good point too. I'm sitting around here with the gimbal and the mic, taking all this nice video for YouTube. And then I have to stop and I'm like, think to myself, I'm like, make sure you're taking video of the family using that equipment too, so that you have that. Prior to the YouTube, I was always into cameras and video anyway at like home. So I have like just mounds of stuff of the family growing up. So we're definitely good in the quota. It's a great comment. It's a great suggestion. No fall colors for me this year. Yeah, out in California, you're probably just gonna have the but you'll have the nice weather. So it's something different to look forward to. Great live stream as always. I appreciate that, Rita. Thank you so much. Thank you, Larry. I hope you have a safe week out there. You will need to go up in the mountains out there to see some color. Yes. Yeah, you could do that. That would be a good idea. It's only 6:30. Yeah, you got to go to dinner or do something fun. Foxy, everyone go and have yourself a wonderful and safe week. Absolutely. Good night, Mr. Mountain Man. Everyone here, enjoy the week. I sure will. Pastor Dan Kim, it's great having you here. We appreciate that. If you go early, everyone's busy cooking. Yeah, that's another thing I'm going to have to temper, because even to me, 6:30 is like dinner time. So, we'll see if I can even pull the early time off thing anyway. Maybe if I could go on a hair earlier, like 7:30, that might be a good compromise. Like I might not be able to do 6:30, but maybe 7:30 we could experiment. Just little iterations. Thanks for another interesting and entertaining live stream. Really appreciate all the effort you put in each week. And I appreciate having you here, Mr. Carlos. And you said your wife was watching. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Good night, Mr. Mountain, everyone. God bless you all. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And to all of you, I hope you have a wonderful, safe, enjoyable week. Enjoy fall. Enjoy the cooler temperatures. If you're here in the mountains, enjoy them as well. And until next time, we'll stay connected through Instagram and YouTube. And until next Monday, you all have a wonderful week. Good night, everyone. Thank you for joining and take care. We'll see you next Monday.